What is good is beautiful, and what is beautiful needs to be good. Something or someone that is beautiful in appearance, but not good on the inside, is not really beautiful. And this is why Philokalia means love of the beautiful and the good. What is more wondrous than divine beauty? Which concept is more gracious than the majesty of God? By partaking of the noetic beauty, every other good thing comes into being and is identified. These words from Saint Gregory of Nyssa in his essay on virginity, referencing this big, important, significant concept of beauty in the Orthodox Christian Church. Dear friends, for this year's series of Lenten sermons, we shall be revisiting the concept of Philokalia, love of beauty and goodness. Philokalia sounds similar to philosophia, philosophy, the love of wisdom. The word Philokalia comes from the two terms philo, I love something or I like something, and kalos, which is beautiful. But as with many languages, sometimes words mean a little bit more than what we think they mean. So philo, as I said, means I can be a friend of, I can like something, I can love something. And kalos, in the Greek language, means beautiful and good at the same time. Good and beautiful, beautiful and good interchangeably. The word combines and blends goodness and beauty. What is good is beautiful. I'll say that again. What is good is beautiful, and what is beautiful needs to be good. Something or someone that is beautiful in appearance, but not good on the inside, is not really beautiful. And this is why Philokalia means love of the beautiful and the good, not just beautiful. Otherwise, we would be loving and liking material beauty, but we want more than that. As most of us by this stage know, in our spiritual journey, there is a book called the Philokalia. And this is an anthology, a selection of beautiful Orthodox Christian writings from the 4th century all the way to the 15th century, 1,000 years. And it is a guidebook of Orthodox Christian spirituality. For all Christians, including us, what is in the Bible is the basis of our faith. And the Philokalia, of course, is based on what is said in the Bible. It complements the Bible because it is a record of the spiritual knowledge and experience of thousands of years of Christian life. The Philokalia is organically linked to the Bible. A lot of new Christians, new converts or people who join a Christian group yesterday, and they pick up the Bible yesterday, think that their opinion or their understanding of the Bible has greater gravity than 2,000 years of lived experience and passed on record. This is a basic flaw in people's spiritual journey, that they think this. For us Orthodox Christians, it is unthinkable that we would pick up the Bible yesterday for the first time, flip it open to some place in the Bible, and think we are the authority of its interpretation. This is how splits happen. This is how divisions happen. This is how multiple interpretations happen. This is how heresies happen. This is how controversies happen. There has to be a bit of consistency, a bit of harmony, a bit of agreement with the past. This is why tradition with a capital T is so important to us Orthodox Christians, and that why we take so long and we put in so much effort to get it right. So when we are criticized by other Christian groups for having a book like the Philokalia, all you need is the Bible, they would say, that's because they don't know what's in the Philokalia and they don't know what's in the Bible. Because if they read the Philokalia and truly understood the Bible, they would find that the Philokalia is an exposition and an expounding, more information. In some respects it's clearer. In some respects it builds on the foundation of the Bible. Sometimes the foundational principles of the Bible, and this is why we have 3,000 denominations, are not enough. You need more explanation. Not everything is in the Bible. The principles are all there, but not every single thing or aspect of or part of an issue is clearly explained in the Bible. And this is a big difference between us and many Protestant groups. Many Protestant groups speak of the sufficiency of Scripture. We agree in principle that Scripture is sufficient if you understood it properly. But if you didn't understand it properly and you haven't had the experience and you haven't passed on the experience of so many years of Christian history and experience, of course Scripture is not sufficient for you. You need more. Once again, the moment you think that just the Bible is enough is the beginning of every heresy. Because every heresy, every error, every group which thinks it's right, because it's their opinion, with no reference, zero reference to the harmony and consistency of the Church's tradition. So, in regards to Philokalia, we will see that in the book of Genesis, the first book of the Bible, the creation of the world is described to us in a certain way. Not in a scientific way. The narrative keeps repeating the phrase, God saw that it was good. God saw that it was good. Και είδεν ο Θεός ότι καλόν. And there it is, right from the beginning, from the book of Genesis, καλόν meaning both good and beautiful. The Hebrew also carries this double meaning of good and beautiful. God has created the universe, and the translation is that it was good. It also means it was beautiful. If it's just the word good, then we've placed a moral criterion on creation, which is nonsense. Humanity hasn't even been created yet by this stage. So it's not about an ethical standard or a moral standard. It is about beauty. It works in Hebrew and it works in Greek. Και είδεν ο Θεός ότι καλόν. Καλόν meaning good and beautiful. The novelist Dostoevsky, the great Russian Orthodox novelist, wrote, "Such beauty created by God will ultimately save the world." How can beauty save the world? Because God is love. First letter of John, chapter 4. And love is good, and good is beautiful. Therefore, what is truly beautiful is intrinsically linked to the godly and the divine. The philosopher Nicholas Arseniev, notice how we went from Hebrew to Greek and now to the Russian, and they're all consistent. They're all in harmony with the message. He said that beauty serves to prepare the soul for encounter with God. And towards the end of every liturgy, when I stand and I say that prayer in front of the icon of Jesus Christ, the Opisthamvonos Ευχή, we say, Lord, sanctify those who love the beauty of your house. Αγίασον τους αγαπώντας την ευπρέπεια του οίκου σου. Ευπρέπεια is beauty, but it's also good order. In other words, we try to do everything beautifully. The church, the architecture, the vestments, the chanting, the melodies, the incense, the poetry, the iconography, everything that we do in here needs to be beautiful, because beauty conveys goodness. No, we Orthodox Christians do not have a bare church. We do not have bare walls. We don't have stages and our church looking like a concert or some sort of lecture theatre. It looks like a temple, and it's supposed to look like a temple. Something beautiful, something you don't get anywhere else. So why the emphasis on what some might describe as external beauty? And I hope I'm stating the obvious here. Because external beauty should inspire internal beauty. Why dress nicely for church? Why not turn up in your thongs and shorts? Because it should remind us to dress our souls nicely as well. Not with material clothing, but with spiritual clothing, with virtue, what is good and what is right. So I hope I've given you a good introduction to the idea, and we will cover all this ground all the way to Easter. Please be in attendance every Sunday to keep up with the series. If you do miss out on attendance, you can view the video recording on YouTube afterwards so that you can keep up. Next week the topic will be spirituality, πνευματικότητα.